Good morning, everyone. So, today we're going to do some questions that have come up in Capgemini test. So, my concern for today is going to be the Capgemini test, the test that was conducted this year as a part of the recruitment process for the MNC. Now, the important thing regarding this exam was the online test that they conducted, and it was done in different sections, let's call it. Okay, and the test had also come up in sets. So we are going to see up the questions from those sets. What are the questions that were asked, and what is the format for Capgemini? Let me tell you that very briefly. Okay, so when you talk about the online test of Capgemini, it is in four sections. First section, they'll ask a programming MCQ where they'll give questions based on Java, JavaScript, then different questions based on OOPS, data structure, all that they're going to ask out. Next section would be a programming section, that is a pseudo code, where we'll have to code up the questions according to the preference of the language that we choose. Next is going to be a English communication test where they'll be checking our English, both verbal communication and written communication would be checked, followed by a gamified aptitude test that is going to be conducted, and it had come up in different sets this year. So we are going to look up at the questions from set C and set B. What are the questions that had come up? How to solve those questions very easily is going to be our approach for the day. Okay, so the first question that had come up, it's obviously a mixture of different questions. So they're going to ask questions from different topics and we'll have to solve accordingly in the given time duration. Okay, first question. One day Isha started 30 minutes late from home and reached her office 15 minutes late while driving 25% slower than her usual speed. How much time in minutes does Isha usually take to reach her office from home? Question based on time, speed, and distance is given to us. So, so she starts from her home 30 minutes late and reaches her office 15 minutes late. She's taking an extra 20 minutes. Right, extra, she's taking an extra 20 minutes. So let her usual speed be S and distance be D. Usual speed be S, distance be D. We know distance is equals to speed into time. 25% of S 25% of his, she's slower by 25%. That means she's traveling at 3 by 4th of s. Extra time, that means t plus 20. Okay, now next thing, as the distance is same in both the cases, what we can do is d is equals to 3s by 4 into t plus 20. We can always do this. Okay, so, and I can equate it to speed into time, because distance in first case is also same. If she's traveling at the usual speed, she's reaching at the usual time, distance traveled is d equal to speed into time. But if she's going 25% slower, that is, if she was supposed to go at a speed of s, she's going as at s minus 25% of s. She's going at this speed, which is why we have written it as 3s by 4. And time taken is 20 minutes extra, which is we're going to add up as t plus 20. Okay, now important thing, some people will solve it directly as t plus 20. Do it t do it as either convert everything into hours, or we need not do that. If here speeds were also mentioned and if we directly did it in terms of 20, we would have got wrong answers. But since here the options are also given in terms of minutes, we can progress accordingly. Okay, so 3s by 4 into t plus 20 will be equal to s into t. S cancels out. When you will solve this equation, 3 into t plus 20 equals to 4 into t, you'll get the value of t. Your t from here would come out to be 60 minutes. So usual time taken by her to reach her office is 60 minutes. Important point of consideration is she's going 25% slower than her usual speed. So we cannot take it as s by 4 to be her speed. She's not going at 25% of what she actually when goes by. She's 25% slower. So we have to subtract it. Speed will be S minus 25% of S. Okay, which is why it is 3S by 4. Equating, since the distance is same, we can have the answer. Important thing is speed equal to distance by upon time. This formula is interconvertible. We can always write speed in terms of distance, distance in terms of speed. Everything could be written in each other's terms. Okay, next question. Find the odd man out. Odd man out of the given number of series 7, 17, 19, 43, 91, 131. Some people they try to figure out some difference between them, maybe like taking the difference between the numbers. Here the difference is 2, here the difference is 10. Then the difference goes on increasing exponentially and they're stuck with that. But one thing that we always need to check, if there is no usual difference between the numbers, is to check for the prime numbers, whether the given set of numbers, is it prime or is it composite. Because if there is no sense that comes out in terms of difference, always check for prime numbers. Okay, so here 7 is prime, 17 is prime, 19 is prime, 43 is also prime. 91 is actually not prime. 91 is 13 7 times 91. Okay, 131 is also prime. So out of all the numbers, every number is prime, but 91 is composite. So my odd man out in this series, it is 91. Okay, my answer is option C. Next question. Find the number of zeros in 1 power 1 into 2 power 2 into 3 power 3 goes on until 48 power 48 and 40 into 49 power 49. Now this is a tricky question because what students do is they try to uh, expand it and try to figure out how will I get zeros is if I'm having a 10. And to form a 10, I need to have 1, 2 and 1, 5. One thing that is very important here is to form a 10, I need 2 and 5 both, and both of them are needed to be 1. If I have three twos, let's say it is 2 into 2 into 2, and I have only two fives, I can have only two zeros. I cannot have three zeros. Number of zeros, they mean they are trying to ask how many tens can be formed, because only with a 10 I'll be having a zero. So if it is two twos and three fives, I'll be having only two zeros. Or if I take the reverse case, there are three twos and there are four fives. In this case, I'll be having only three zeros. So whichever is smaller out of the two, whichever is smaller out of number of twos or number of fives, that many tens or that many zeros would be obtained. This thing is very important and always has to be kept in mind regarding whether it is finding the number of zeros in a particular arrangement, or if finding the number of 15s, if they ask, that is 3 into 5, whichever is smaller, whichever is available less number, that many pairs are going to be obtained. Okay, so if this is clear, we will count the number of fives. Fives is very easy to find out. Fives could be found out very easily. Explanation is 1 into 1, 2 power 2, 3 power 3, and so on. 48 power 48 and 49 power 49. 5 will be obtained when it is something like 5 power 5 or 10 power 10 or 15 power 15, 20 power 20, 25 power 25, 30 power 30, 35 power 35, 40 power 40, and 45 power 45. This is where I'll be having all the fives. Okay, so if 5 power 5 we talk about, we'll be having 5 fives. If we talk about 10 powers 10, we'll be having 10 fives from here. Okay, because 10 is going to be formed as 2 into 5. Okay, so I'll be having, if it is 10 tens, I'll be having 10 fives. 15 again can be formed as 3 into 5. So I'll be having as many 15s, that many fives. Okay, so this will be again 15 fives. 20, if we talk about, we'll have same 20 fives. 25 will be 5 25 will be 25 into 2, because if I talk about 25, 25 is 5 into 5. So 125 will give me two fives. 25, 25 will give me 25 into 2, that is 55. Next, if I talk about 30, 30 will be giving 35s. 35 will be giving me 35 fives. 40 will give me 45s. 45 will give me 45 fives. Now, why am I going for just the number of fives? Because if you look at this explanation, if we look at this expansion, there are going to be many twos. There are going to be so many twos. Every number is going to give me a 2, and then there are powers of all those numbers. So obviously 2 is going to be so many. What is going to be less is the number of 5 that are going to be available here. So what our task is to look at how many 5s are available. Number of 2s is not going to be our concern. Our concern is going to be number of 5s that are going to be available. Okay, now adding up all of these will give me number of 5. So my number of 5 becomes 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 20 plus 50 plus 30 plus 35 plus 40 plus 45. On adding, we'll get 250 fives that are available in this particular range. So total number of fives available is 250. Obviously, twos are going to be much, much more than this. So as many the number that is available in smaller quantity, greater would also be, the other number would also be required in the same number. So number of tens here, like I told you, if it is three twos and only two fives, I'll be having only two zeros. So if it is 255s, I'll be just needing 252s to form 250 zeros, that is to form 250 tens. So answer to this question is 250. Next question. A man buys 20 kg of wheat at rupees 30 per kg and 40 kg of wheat at rupees 25 per kg. He mixes them and sells one third of the mixture at 26 rupees per kg, the price at which the merchant should sell the remaining mixture so that he earns a profit of 25% on his whole outlay is. Okay, now cost price of all kind of wheat. Cost price of all kind of wheat. It is going to be 20 kgs of 30, 20 kgs of at 30 rupees per kg, so 20 into 30 plus 40 into 25. Okay, comes out to be 1600. Making a 25% profit on the total outlay, making a 25% profit, that means my selling price is going to be 2000. So total selling price comes out to be 2000. Now total mixture of wheat is 60 kg. Total mixture 20 kg of this, 40 kg of this. Total mixture is 60 kg. One third of this mixture is 20 kgs. Now total mixture is 60 kg, one third of this is 20 kg. Now selling price of 20 kg of wheat. If we talk about just this 20 kg, selling price of that 20 kg, because it is given, he mixes them and sells one third of the mixture at rupees 20 kg. So for at rupees 26 per kg. So if there is total of 60 kg, one third of it is 20 kg. So 20 kg he is selling at 26 rupees. Cost price comes out to be rupees 520. So for that one third that he's selling, cost price comes out to be rupees 520. Now selling price of remaining comes out to be for 40. For 40 we need to find out how, what was the selling price for the remaining, that is 40 kg. So what we are going to do is 2000 minus 520, because for 20 kg it is 520, remaining would be 2000 minus 520, equally divided among that 40 kg, it comes out to be rupees 37. Simple concept. What we did was we find out the cost price of all the kind that was available. So for 20 kg sold at 30 rupees per kg, it was 20 into 30, 40 kg sold at 25 per kg, 40 into 25. Total comes out to be 1600. Overall, on this whole outlay, he has a profit of 25%. So 25% of profit, selling price comes out to be 2000. Now, one third he mixes them and sells one third of the mixture at rupees 25, 26 rupees per kg. One third of 60. Total is he is having 60 kg. One third is 20 kg. Sold at 26 rupees. So total selling price of that becomes 520. Now what is going to be the selling price of the remaining? Selling price of remaining would be 2000 minus 520 divided by 40, that is rupees 37. Important thing was considering the profit in the beginning and then dividing the cost among the sets that we have considered. So answer is 37, option D. Next question. A, B and C are non-negative integers such that 28a plus 30b plus 31c is equals to 365. Value of a plus b plus c is. Okay, now 28a plus 30b plus 31c is equals to 365. Now this 365 to me seems like the days of a year. The closest thing that I could relate 365 to so that I can have a value of a plus b plus c is, let's say 365, that is the days of a year. And I know 28, 30 and 31, these seem like the number of days in a month. To me, these seem like days in a month. So that is the relation that we can find out here. So 28a plus 30b plus 31c. It's 365. 365 is days of year. Even if this was 366, we could have used the same relation. That is considering 28, 30 and 31 to be days in a month. Then 366 would have been days in a leap year. Okay. Now, A plus B plus C. If 28 is the days, 28 is February, 30 is number of days in month, and 31 is number of days in some other month. If we do A plus B plus C, this A, this B and C, these are the months. So A plus B plus C becomes months in a year. I know months in a year is equal to 12. I know there are 12 months in a year. Then the value of A plus B plus C accordingly here with the assumption that we have done, and it is actually right assumption, my answer comes out to be 12. Important thing here was 365 related it to days of a year so that the progress becomes easy. Next question. A owes B a sum of rupees 50. He decides to pay back the loan but can pay back the loan by giving either a 10 rupee note or a 20 rupee note at a time. In how many ways can he pay the loan such that he uses at least one note of each denomination? Okay, so 50 rupees have to be given. We are going to form out the different ways in which it is possible to give out the money. Okay, so method one, first case first, what they can find out is I can use a 10 rupee note, a 20 rupee note, and a 20 rupee note. I can use 120 rupee note, 110 rupee, and 120 rupee. This is one way. This is another way. This is my first way. This is my second way. Third, what I can do is 20 rupee, 20 rupee, and a 10 rupee. Okay, this 20 and this 20, they are different because I'm going to give out one note at a time. So the sequence is also going to matter. If it is going to be 10, 20, 20, that means first I gave a 10 rupee note, then a 20, then a 20. So all these three, these are actually different, which is why these are three different ways. Next, we can do 10 rupee, 10 rupee, 10 rupee, and a 20 rupee. 10 rupee, 10 rupee, 20 rupee, and a 10 rupee. Again, all these are different. These are not the same. So similarly, for this, we'll have four more ways. These gave me three more ways. One way that is going to be possible is I give out all 10 rupee note. So it is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Now see, this 10 and this 10, there's a difference. So this is going to be just one way of giving out the notes that you have. So this becomes three ways plus four ways plus one way. Total, I have 8 ways of giving back the money. So my answer is total number of ways in which I can repay the loan such that I'm using at least one note of each denomination, because available options were either a 10 rupee note or a 20 rupee note. It becomes 8 ways. Important thing was considering 10, 20 and 20 different combinations to be different ways. Next, Arvind can do a work in 24 days. Money can dig the same well in 36 days. We're talking about digging a well. Arvind, Murray, and Hari can do a work together in 8 days. Hari alone can do the work in how many days? Okay, task. Here is they're doing a work. We're going to use a shortcut method. So, what we can do is total work, whatever they have to do, is going to be the LCM of number of days in which my work is complete. So number of days in which the my work is getting complete. If Arvind does it alone, it's 24. If Mani does it alone, it's 36. If three of them do it together, it's 8. So my LCM of 24, 36, and 8, that is how much work they have to do. They have to complete 72 units of work. We know my work is going to be complete when it is 1 or when it is 100%. This is already known to us. If it is 3/5 of the work, total work is not complete. If it is 90% of the work, total work is not complete. Another way of representing your total work is taking the LCM in which complete work is done. That many units of work has to be done. Okay, now efficiency can be done. We can find out efficiency, that is how much work money is doing in one day. See, all of them are doing the same work. So money is doing the work in 36 days. So work done by money in one day is going to be efficiency of money. How much work is doing in one day? That is 76 units total he has to do. He's taking 36 days. He's doing 2 unit per day. Efficiency is how much work a person is doing in one day. Similarly, if we talk about Arvind, 72 by 24 comes out to be 3 units per day. Now, together, Arvind plus Money plus Hari, they're doing the task in 8 days. How much they're doing in one day? 72 by 8. That is 9 units per day. One thing that we can observe from here is Arvind, Mani and Hari, they're doing together 9 units per day. Arvind is doing 3 units. Mani is doing 2 units. That means 2 plus 3 plus Hari's efficiency is 9. That means Hari's efficiency from here comes out to be 4 units per day. Hari, if he works alone, he's doing 4 units per day. Now, doing 4 units per day, total work that he has to do is 72 units. Number of days that is needed is 72 by 4, that is 18 days to complete the work. My answer comes out to be option B. This is very easy compared to going for fractions, because if we go for fractions, we'll get stuck up where to take the LCM, how to do the reverse. So it's better if we go by the method where total work is LCM of number of days. Next, if a lemon and an apple together cost rupees 12, okay. Directly going with respect to question and the variables, lemon and apple costing rupees 12. A tomato and a lemon cost rupees 4, and a apple is costing 8 rupees more than either a tomato, or a apple is costing 8 rupees more than a lemon. Okay, first two conditions, equation 1, equation 2 are very clear. Equation third has an anomaly. So apple is either lemon plus 8 rupees or tomato plus 8 rupees. Which of the following can be the cost of a lemon? Which of the following can be the cost of a lemon? So what we can do is we can use these equations one by one. So first, let's use apple is lemon plus 8 rupees. Let's use this as the third equation. When we use this as a third equation, lemon, putting it in my first, putting third in first equation. So 2L equals to 4. My value of lemon comes out to be 2 rupees. Okay, now again, if we go for the second case, that is Second case was apple is 8 rupees more than tomato, using this as the third. Putting it again, we're getting the same equation. 2 times L equals to 4. My value of here will have some negative values, and negative value is not possible when it comes to money. Okay, so value of lemon comes out to be 2 rupees. That is my answer is option A. Using both the equations, we can see which is going to be the right answer, which is giving me the correct answer, and accordingly we can progress. My answer is option A. Next question. If 5 plus 3 plus 2 is equals to 151022. Similarly, 9 plus 2 plus 4 is 183652. 8 plus 6 plus 3 is 482466. 5 plus 4 plus 5 is 202541. Value of 7 plus 2 plus 5 is asked. Looking at the question, it is very clear that this is not direct addition, and some or the other calculation or some other pattern is being followed. So what we are going to do is let's try to observe the pattern. So 5 plus 3 plus 2 gives me 15, 10 and 22. Okay, 15 I can write as 5 into 3. 15 I'm going to write as 5 into 3. 10 could be somehow written as 5 into 2. Okay, these two I wrote easily, but what about 22? If I want to write 22, I know 15 plus 10, it's 25, and 25 if I subtract 3, I'm getting 22. So I'm trying 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2 minus 3. That is multiplication, the first two multiplications, adding all of them and subtracting the middle number. I got 151022. Let's try for the next one. 9 plus 2 plus 4. Using the same. 183652. Okay, writing them a little fun. 9 into 2, 18. Okay. 9 into 4, 36. Okay. 18 plus 36, 54. 54 minus 2, 52. So this is 9 into 2 plus 9 into 4 minus 2. Correct. This pattern is being followed. We can check for more. 8 plus 6 plus 3. Similarly, 8 into 6, 48. 8 into 3, 24. 48 plus 24 minus 6, I'm getting 66. Correct. Same pattern is being followed. So what I need to do now, what I need to find is 7 plus 2 plus 5. So 7 plus 2 plus 5, 7 into 2, 14. 7 into 5, 35. 7 into 2, 7 into 5. Next will be 7 into 2 plus 7 into 5 minus 2. That is 14 plus 35 minus 2 comes out to be 47. So my answer is 143547. That is option A. Very easy. We had to observe the pattern. The pattern followed was first number into second becomes my first two digits. First number into last becomes my next two digits. Addition of these two, first two digits and the next two digits, addition of these two digits minus what was there in the middle, whichever number was there in the middle, like 3, 2 and 6, subtract that and get the last two digits. When we followed that, when we observed it was there everywhere, we followed the same for 7, 2 and 5, we got the answer as 143547. Next question. Two full tanks, one shaped like a cylinder and the other shaped like a cone, contains liquid fuel. The cylinder tank held 500 liters more than the conical tank. After 200 liters of fuel is pumped out from each tank, the cylindrical tank now contains twice the amount of fuel in the conical tank. How many liters of fuel did the cylindrical tank have when it was full? Okay, what we can do is let's say that the conical tank's capacity it's X. Okay, now capacity, if cylindrical tank is full, it is given the question cylindrical tanks holds 500 liters more than the conical. So cylindrical becomes 500 plus X, that is its capacity. Okay, next thing. This is in liters, this is also in liters. Next thing that is given to me, if 200 liters of fuel has been pumped out from each, the capacity 200 liters is pumped out. So for conical, it becomes x minus 200. Whereas for cylindrical, it becomes 300 plus x. It becomes x plus 500 minus 200, 300 plus x. So I have the new capacities now. According to the question given to me already, that after pumping out, cylindrical tank contains twice the amount in the conical tank. So whatever is in the cylindrical tank, new capacity of cylindrical tank is 300 plus x, twice time of conical. When we will solve this, 300 plus x equals to 2x minus 400, your value of x comes out to be 700 liters. That is the capacity of your conical tank. It comes out to be 700 liters. Now to misguide us, 700 is already given in the options. What we'll do is we'll see 700 is here, 700 here also, we'll mark it and we'll get the answer. But the capacity of cylindrical tank is asked, and it is asked when it is full. So cylindrical tank, when it is full, it is x plus 500. So my answer is not 700, it's 700 plus 500. That is 1200 liters. My answer is option A.